My guitar playing sucks right now. I'm sick. There's only one thing left to do, and that's think about werewolves and dogmen. Out of all the Bigfoot encounters I've heard, all the things I've listened to, I highly recommend the website SasquatchChronicles.com. You can also look up Sasquatch Chronicles episodes. It's like a podcast, interviews over the phone with people on YouTube. People encounter things out and about camping trips, even when they're sitting in their cars, driving through the woods. The land between the lakes, it's called LBL, land between the lakes. I heard a weird encounter up in that area. People describe seeing creatures, encountering creatures that were not Bigfoot. They were not this big, hairy, mostly man-looking kind of part. A little apish looking, but mostly man-looking. Bigfoots a lot of times are described between 6 to 7 feet tall, all the way up to perhaps 12 feet tall. These creatures, this encounter described in this Land Between the Lakes episode, more closely resemble dogmen. Just what it sounds like. A dog's head on a man's body, a chimera. Now that's not to be confused with a werewolf. Are werewolves real? Can they be real? Could they be? I don't think there's a breeding population of werewolves, but I think some people get involved in so much evil, so much filth, so much occult, so much wickedness, that perhaps some people can get into the transformation, the shape-shifting stuff. Why is this stuff so prevalent in media? You know, we hear about shape-shifting, right? You hear about shape-shifting out on the reservations. The Native Americans talked about that. So people transform into beasts. There's another thing people talk about that's very prevalent in media. You know, vampires. No, we're not talking about Vlad the Impaler. We're talking about perhaps people who transform into this wicked stuff. So when your guitar playing is terrible, when your fingers aren't coordinated, you're all stuffed up, you gotta ponder these things. I sure didn't encounter any on my last video where I was flopping around out in the river. I wasn't being bled dry by any leeches out there. One of my family members asked if I got any leeches on me. I hadn't really thought about that. Maybe just a blip had crossed my mind. And I didn't see anything weird out there. All I saw was those two snakes. Those were poisonous, I believe. I think those were copperheads. Apparently copperheads do swim, but not very often. Man, I have been harvesting some huge bookers. They're impressive. You know when you blow your nose and a big old, like a worm comes out? You can keep pulling. We're rock and roll guys. I didn't fix my hair. My face is not prettied up. I'm not wearing eyeliner. We're not getting ready for some glam rock show over here. Putting on leather pants. Bopping around on a stage like a nutbag. Nope. We're here talking about dogmen, werewolves. So that Land Between the Lakes episode, I believe it was a couple, not a single person. Couple in a car. They went out. They were driving. I think it was nighttime. I don't know if it was, just soon after dusk. But some creatures came out of the really dense woods and showed themselves. And appeared to be very aggressive. Started moving toward their vehicle. And they appeared to be becoming surrounded. I don't know if they were surrounded at that point. Clearly they were able to get out of there and relate their story, if you believe their story. I heard another story of a really religious dude. He was perhaps religious in a way you wouldn't expect. Religious to the dark side. Got into this evil where he could transform into a werewolf. And apparently his wife became absolutely terrified of him because of the evil things he would do. Some things we really can't say too much about on this platform. You know how it is. The dogmen thing, that's funky. Are these dogmen? Are they genetic chimeras? Were they somehow lab created? governments, perhaps the US military, the military-industrial complex. You know, the same complex that Dwight D. Eisenhower warned everyone about. Who knows? Who knows what kind of experimentation go on deep in these underground labs? These black budgets, they can print anything they want. Wouldn't that be cool? If you wanted a new guitar, you could just go over to your piece of junk HP printer, and even your HP printer, if it could possibly function, it could print out some currency, and you could take that down to your local guitar shop or guitar center, and you could order in the guitar, because they probably wouldn't have the one you wanted up on the rack. They probably wouldn't. We know the mainstream media lies to us. They lie about everything, just like the government. They lie about stinking everything. Put it this way, if they tell you something's fake, a myth, a childhood story, it's probably true.